hatsauce.com.
Wow, 6 Fast and the Furious movies. Who knew? The first one came out in 2001. I was still in elementary school, for crying out loud. And Paul Walker looked like such a bitch. He was trying to pull off the Justin Timberlake no strings attached curly haircut. Now this was the movie that really jump-started Mark Sinclair Vincent's career. Who's Mark Sinclair Vincent, you may ask? It's Vin frickin' Diesel's real frickin' name. If you don't believe me, look it up. Mark Sinclair Vincent. But even before that, he had a small role in Saving Private Ryan in 1999, and before that, in 2000, he was in Pitch Black. It spawned a sequel called The Chronicles of Riddick in 2004, and a third one is coming out this year in September of 2013 called Riddick? So basically, after the first movie in 2001, he skipped out on the second and third sequel and went on to do other things. Well, actually, that's not true. He did make a small cameo in the Tokyo Drift movie. And then in 2009, Fast and Furious came back with a vengeance. Now, I could do the same thing like I did with the Hangover review, and I reviewed all of them, but god damn, there's 6 of them! Here's a cool fact. Mark Sinclair Vincent, or Vin Diesel, is actually a producer for all of the new Fast and Furious movies. The one that came out in 2009, Fast and Furious, wasn't very memorable. The only thing you need to remember, really, is that Lenny died. Oops, spoiler alert. I don't, whatever. Well, it's not like they didn't give it away in the trailers for the new one, right? It's like, oh my god, we thought she was dead. It didn't even matter how bad the 2009 film was, because it was really just a setup for how crazy things are going to get in the 2011 and the 2013 ones. And a big part of the credit has to go to the director of the Tokyo Drift movie. He came back and did the 2011 and the 2013 film, Justin Lin. Since the 2001 film that had Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, Jordana Brewster, and Michelle Rodriguez, the cast has really expanded. Tyrese and Ludacris, Song Kang. The family has really grown. And it's crazy and action-packed and how cool these cars look in these movies. It's always nice to have a little human touch on it. So for Fast and Furious 6, it picks up where Fast 5 really left off. Let's say 9 months? And one of the things that they vowed to do in Fast 5 was to walk away from this life of criminality. But of course, something always pulls them back in. Introduce Luke Evans as Owen Shaw, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Agent Hobbs finds shocking evidence that Lenny is still alive. And what does he do? He goes over to Dominic Toretto, living a life of peace, shows him the photo, and he's like,
I gotta do this, O'Connor. You never turn your back on family.
So if you're wondering what the hell's going on with Lenny, is she turned villain or what? I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys. Go find out for yourselves. What's wrong with Lenny? Why is she a bad girl now? I'll never tell. Now, to get to the bottom of the things, was Fast and Furious 6 good? It shouldn't be, but it's pretty damn awesome. Does that make any sense? So bad and ridiculous and unrealistic. None of this should really work, but it still works. It's pure entertainment. And what really pushes the envelope is you always gotta have a good bad guy. Or a really bad guy. Like in The Dark Knight, Joker always had a trick up his sleeve, and then another trick up his sleeve, another trick up his sleeve, and then another trick up his sleeve, and then another trick up his sleeve. And having Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on screen is... he's come a long way since the WWE. I remember one of the cool things in Fast 5 was that they had this fight between Vin Diesel and The Rock. But one of my favorite scenes in Fast 5, it was that point in his career where it was like, yeah, I'm a wrestler, but I'm also an actor now. But there is this one scene where he goes up to Vin Diesel, and Vin Diesel is like chill and cool and clean. But for some reason, The Rock is sweating buckets. Why are you sweating so much? The highlight in Fast and Furious 6 has got to be Tyrese as the comedic relief. Now the movie is about 2 hours long. The first hour kind of just warms you up a bit. Pretty cool action scenes, fight scenes, cheesy lines, dramatic moments. But the second hour, everything just goes nuts. The last hour of it, whew, nuts, nuts. It's pure insanity, but it's awesome. You know what I noticed? I find it kind of interesting that the first Hangover came out in 2009, and the first reboot Fast and Furious movie also came out in 2009. Both of their sequels came out in 2011, and the third one came out in 2013. Coincidence? I think not. However, Hangover is wrapping up and it's over and done. But we still got the sexy cars and sexy women and crazy action scene. Fast and Furious 7 is on its way, and I'm looking forward to it. But as of right now, Fast and Furious 6, go see that. A solid 3.8. Boom. Pure octane adrenaline fun. You know how there's a pretty cool fight scene in Fast 5 between The Rock and Vin Diesel? Well, in Fast and Furious 6, there's a pretty cool fight scene with Vin Diesel, Rock. Go see it. Now next week there's gonna be Now You See Me and After Earth. with Jaden Smith and his dad, Will Smith. I'll try to do both like I did this week, but no promises made. But to be honest, I'm a little more in favor of